And the reason why I say it should be exciting, should be entertaining, is because it does appear like UNC only plays wildly crazy entertaining games. That's not necessarily good for UNC, but it does make for interesting viewing. UNC is still doing something, broken record style here, that I've been saying for the last 3 weeks UNC is craving. Normalcy. I know it's more complicated than that, and we can have the nitty-gritty conversations about, how can they lighten Omarion Hampton's workload so they feel more comfortable giving him the ball in the fourth quarter? How can they make Jacoby Criswell's job a little bit easier? How can the defense get after the quarterback better? We could do that. I understand it's more complicated, but it's also kind of simple. You can't be successful as a football team with every game being chaos. It's funny. Earlier this week, Dennis said they actually had their most normal game last week, which is crazy because if you go look at it, they were ahead 20-0 halfway through the third quarter, essentially. And Duke came back to win 21-20. How is that the most normal game you've had? And it is the most normal game because there wasn't quarterback switching. There weren't major injuries. There weren't crazy weather. There wasn't any crazy weather. There wasn't any coaching controversies after the game. It was their most normal. It just was wildly chaotic. Athletes thrive on routine. Now, most of that isn't like within the game, right? It's not like, hey, every day we come out on first down, we throw the ball, on second down we run the ball, third down. No, it's not that kind of routine. Usually it's practice schedules and getting yourself ready and pregame rituals, and it's all routine. But they also thrive on kind of order of operations. There's a standard operating procedure for the game. When the defense does this, we do that. When they go this way, we have a plan to go that way. That's what making a read is, right? If they play man, we have a man beater. If they play zone, we have an answer for that. If they blitz, here's what we do. Hot route. Right? That's what football is. UNC, the way they're playing games, can't have a plan for everything because it's too much. You'd have to be sitting there giving a million what-ifs. Okay, well, what if we change quarterbacks halfway through the second quarter? What if Omarion Hampton gets 30 carries before the fourth quarter? What if we start giving up 70 points to a group of 5 team? You don't have a plan for that. No coach in their right mind has all right, everybody turn to their playbook, the portion of the playbook where our offense has to score 75 to win a game. It doesn't exist. Nobody has a portion of your playbook. All right, everybody turn to the part of the playbook where you're up 20-0 and the other team starts running it down your throats, which is exactly what happened last week in the Duke game. You can't have a plan for everything, which is why you need a little normalcy. You need things you can lean on. You need to be able to funnel the game towards something you know how to work with. When they do this, we do that. We have answers for it. It's very similar, like I said, to a quarterback trying to read the defense. The times when quarterbacks get really, really, really in trouble are when they're seeing something they haven't seen before. It's why, the Bradys and the Breezes and the Andy Daltons and the Joe Flaccos, they're so good mentally when they get into the game darn near 40 years old. It's because they've seen everything. There's nothing you can show them they haven't seen before. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't care if you're Tom Brady and you played until you were 48 years old and you started 900 million games. If he was on UNC, he'd be coming to the sideline like, never played a game like this before, every single week. Omarion, think of it like this. Omarion Hampton's going to be a part of their game plan. It's really the only steady, consistent thing that's been their game in and game out for them, outside of the second half against Charlotte when he was hurt. Omarion Hampton. All right, they sell out to stop him. They stack the box. We throw play action to a tight end. Boom. Now they have to sag off a little bit, back to Omari and Hampton. That's how it works. We do this. They do that to stop it. We do this to beat that. We go right back to what we were doing, and you build an offense around it. It's like having – I feel like this is high school basketball more than like pro, but there's a lot of high school basketball teams that have like a random 5'7" guy who's just a shooter. He's like, I know I'm not going to be blocking shots. I know I'm not going to be, running the pick and roll, but I can shoot. And guess what? That guy sits on the bench, cheering on his teammates, big high five guy, until the opposing team goes to his zone. Soon as they go to his zone, coach doesn't even have to tell him. He's already walking to the check-in table. Like, coach, I got this. Boom, I'd like to go in. They pack in the zone, catch, fire. Good. Catch, fire. Good. Hits 2 or 3 threes. Other team gets out of zone. He's like, thank you very much. I'm going back to the bench.
Yep. I know my role.
And then if they go, like, that's how it is, right? They do this, we do that. It's predictable. Hey, if we're beating their man, guess what they're probably going to do? They're probably going to play zone. Then we're going to put in our shooter. He's going to hit 2 or 3. Then they're going to go back to man. We're going to take him out. It's order of operations. UNC can't possibly have any of that right now. At the beginning of the year, it was one thing. Then with Connor Harrell at quarterback, it was another. Now with Jacoby Criswell, it's another. They're settling into Jacoby Criswell. And as that's going on, they're having chaos off the field with coaching comments. They're having injuries happen. They're having so much going on. And by the way, Pitt is good. We haven't talked about Pitt. They're undefeated. They're undefeated. And it's not like they've played the easiest schedule, not like they've played the hardest schedule, but undefeated coming on the road for a conference game, they're going to have a lot of confidence. They're going to have something for you. You have to be able to react to that. Mack Brown, who spoke to the media, said it's all about focusing on themselves.
Every game's important. We talk to our players about, and we have to do this in life, you need to be where your feet are. You better worry about today. We don't even know if we've got, we can be gone tomorrow. So we're about today. We're about getting better. We're about what you fix. And don't worry about what happens if somebody doesn't like something that you did. I mean, if we had beaten Duke, the ones that are mad would have still been mad over JMU. So you can't worry about all that. If you better worry about yourself. And I'm responsible for a lot of people. I got to worry about them. I sure can't get overloaded enough to start worrying about everybody else.
Do you really think that squeaking out a win over Duke would make everybody forget about 70 points allowed against James Madison? I don't know about you, but I would have expected that anger to last a little bit. If we would have beaten Duke, everyone would have still been mad about James Madison. That James Madison anger is going to last. You'd have to beat Duke by you'd have to score 70 to make them forget about 70.
Yeah, if you flipped it around and just be like, all right, well, we just put up 70. Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to I don't know. That's the James Madison one's not going anywhere. The Duke loss isn't going anywhere. There's no way they can.